Most amateur photographers find that the problems that they encounter with their picture quality have to do with one of three areas: either the lighting, the focus, or the composition. So we'll focus on some tips and tricks in those areas. Concerning the lighting, if you're taking outdoor photographs, you want to be sure that you're never shooting directly into the sun. If you can, move your subject so that the sun is behind you, the photographer, not behind your subject. Of course, this isn't always easy if you're taking a picture of a national landmark or a mountain or something, but just keep in mind that the sun should never be directly in your picture. Now, if these people were squinting too much because they were looking at the sun, you could have the sun at the side of both of you, but never directly behind you. If you're using auto flash on your camera, that might be appropriate 90% of the time, but it is important for you to figure out how to turn the flash off. For example, if you're at a museum or at a show and you have been expressly forbidden from taking flash photography, but you really want to take that picture, you better know how to turn off the flash before somebody stops you. But there are other times that flash is not a good idea. For example, if you're taking flash in low lighting, you might have been better off without the flash, even though your camera thinks that flash is a good idea. Here's an example of a picture taken indoors. This was inside of a church, so we have lots and lots of white marble. This one, the auto flash went off, and this one, I turned the flash so that there would be no flash. When there was flash used in this picture, you could see that it lit up just the parts that were closest to us, but made everything else enshrouded in darkness. This one that I deliberately turned the flash off, we can see the details behind it. So you might want to fool around. One of the great things about a digital camera is you can take literally thousands of pictures and then just delete the ones that you didn't want. So you might want to try flash on and flash off, just so you can decide which is going to be better for your particular picture. So one of the first things you want to learn about your camera is how to turn the flash on and off. The next big problem area for most people has to do with focus. Now, we were talking about the shutter release button, the little button right at the top of the camera that you use to press to take the picture. If you press it just halfway, the picture will automatically focus. Now, if you simply take pictures by pressing that button all the way down, you're missing that automatic focus. So you definitely want to make sure, as you could see in these flowers, this one, the button was pressed halfway first and makes for a much clearer picture. Most cameras also have a little box inside the camera that'll show on the most important part of your subject. You've seen that little box show around the faces of the people. And that's usually a good thing, because you do want the people's faces to be the most prominent thing. But sometimes it happens that the box is going to show up on the wrong thing in your picture. For example, if you want to focus on something close up or something far away. Look at these two pictures. In this picture, the detail that's in focus is actually the background. So the little box was over here. In this picture, the focus was much closer on the flower that's in the front. And this is all blurry. Probably most people would vote for this picture. But if you wanted the detail on the foreground stuff, that's where you'd want to put your little box. Finally, the last area that most people have a problem with is the actual composition. There's a lot of pictures that are taken that have something in it that we really don't want. For example, stop signs, garbage cans, mailboxes. In this picture, there was a van zooming by. Again, with digital cameras, you could take 1,000,000 pictures. So make sure that you're taking pictures only of what you want to take a picture of. Finally, most pictures, probably 90% of pictures, are taken at between 5 and 6 feet up. In other words, at eye level. If you take pictures of everything at your eye level, you're missing most of the good action. If you're taking pictures of children or pets, for example, you really want to make sure you get much closer to the action. Here's a picture of my dog Shamrock taken at my level, and here's one taken at her level. A much better picture. So when you're taking a picture of a pet, or if you're taking a picture of children, or even if you're taking pictures of interesting things that you see as you're walking around, there's a very big difference between being at your level and looking down at something and being at eye level and looking directly at something. So those are the three things you want to focus most on when taking your pictures: lighting, focus, and composition.